Anno community, and welcome to our DLC 11 reveal stream. I'm Lisa, I'm the Junior International Product Manager for Anno 1800, and I can tell you we have a lot of things to show you guys today. When I say we, I mean me and two fantastic colleagues of Ubisoft Mainz that are here with me today. Do you want to introduce yourselves, guys?
Yeah, I'm Dominic. I was here the last time also, and I'm again here to give you more details about the upcoming content and what we've done last time.
Yeah, so this is game design support we have on board here today. You may have seen me before. I'm Oliver. I'm the community developer for Anno 1800. Yeah. DLC 11, right? Empire of the Skies.
Empire of the Skies, yeah. I mean, so as I mentioned before, we have a lot of things to show you guys today. We will talk about, obviously, Empire of the Skies, as well as the scenario that comes with it, which is called Clash of Couriers. And also, we will, of course, talk about the game update that is free for all. So, yeah, grab a drink, sit back, enjoy. And, yeah, should we start into the gameplay?
Yeah, and obviously you can ask questions throughout the stream. But we'll, if there's enough time at the end, we might do a dedicated Q&A bit. But on the other hand, just keep ask. You can ask, and Lisa and Dominic will check, or Lisa most likely looking at it.
Checks,
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
check, and
checking
then
the chat.
if there are any questions that we can answer right away, then we'll try to do that. Meantime, maybe some of the questions will actually be answered by us if you just listen for 5 more minutes. You never know. Right, then yeah, let's set sail.
Let's go.
Big surprise, we're in a new world.
Again?
How come?
All right, we have a new world colony with actually multiple islands. We have some weirdly empty spots in the middle of our city, and over there, we'll get to that in a moment. So, yeah, there's a lot to cover in it. Everything's like super, obviously you need to progress through some of that stuff to actually get to the point. So let's start with Dominic. The new content, when does it unlock? When can players, what do they need to reach in the new world to get there?
So in the new world you have to reach, I think, for the post, yeah, you can unlock it with early obreras, and then you have access to our new postal service, which is now one of the civilian features for this DLC.
So not only airships in this DLC, interesting.
Well, it is linked to the airships, as we're going to see later,
Yes.
I guess, yeah. And yeah, in the old world, you can actually unlock it with early artisans. So it's not completely linked, but later more advanced post services are then linked to South America and the airships, which are then unlocked here and also constructible here.
We don't need your help for now. Thank you, Paloma.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
Paloma,
So-
our pilot character.
So yeah, we have a post office, a shiny post office. As Dominic said, we have the same in the old world. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But yeah, this is the start, and this is where you fulfill one of the first needs, right? So, or like produce the first good and fulfill the first needs for that DLC. So,
Yeah.
as you can see, a post office. No, not now. Sorry.
The string is disappointed.
We're producing mail, which makes a lot of sense. And you see the radius, which means all the residences in this radius are producing mail. So kind of the productivity of this building is based on the amount of residents, right?
Yeah.
Not the houses, but the actual amount of people that are
You
living.
can hover over the little house icon. Yeah, there we see how many people are in the radius, and this directly correlates with the productivity. So we can go up to a relatively high percentage depending on which DLCs you have active. So if you put a post office next to a lot of skyscrapers, the productivity goes up, and therefore you're producing more and more mail, and that mail can then be consumed.
Right, so let's go right into, because they're not just sending letters, they're actually also like receiving letters, which makes a lot of sense, to be completely honest. And this is where the new lifestyle needs come into play. And one of these lifestyle needs is the local mail, which is the mail that they're producing. So they're basically producing it and sending it to their neighbors. I assume that's how you need to imagine it.
Yeah.
So sending mail and postcards.
If you activate this, the service has a normal need, so it's also taken from the entire storage of the island. So it's not necessarily related to the post offices. The post offices in this system are producing them, and then you activate these lifestyle needs for mail directly for each population level separately.
Yeah. So that also means that obviously none of this is consumed without your permission, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're not consuming it, especially since you see the other bonus needs. We'll get to that, the lifestyle needs, as you see in the bottom. Like, you don't need to worry, they don't start consuming it. You first need to allow them to use that. So now they're producing mails, and they're, it's fulfilling a need like all the other needs, basically, like they're using here.
So should we go a bit into detail with the lifestyle needs already?
Yeah, let's do that before we talk about mailboxes.
Okay, the lifestyle needs are basically a free update for the most part, but we are using the post system on top of it. So lifestyle needs are a new way for us to interconnect the DLCs a bit more, and like you can see now, to simulate the post system. So these are completely optional for you, and can provide additional bonuses to your population. Mostly at this point it's more population. You can see here Obreras can go up to 23 more people per house if you supply all of them and if you have all DLCs active, because some needs are linked to other DLCs, and then basically to get more cross interactions in. So everybody gets lifestyle needs with the next free update, but if you have DLC 11 you also get on top the post system. Yeah. And the good thing is all the population that's coming from those lifestyle needs are not impacting the base consumption. So they're not going to eat more burritos if you get the 5 more people from the post, for example.
Yeah, so basically if you don't buy this DLC, you still get the lifestyle needs of glasses, spectacles for your Breros, but you will only get this if you also have landlines, and the whole mail system is obviously tied to DLC 11. Exactly. So you still get something out of this even if you don't have the DLC. This is coming with the update, and the rest is like, just expanding on it more the more DLC you have. Yeah. And this is added different lifestyle needs for depending on population tier in both the New World as well as the Old World for all.
And
tiers,
in Imbeza and in the Arctis or in the Passage. So every population and the scholars also. And in all the skyscrapers.
So basically all is connected.
Everything is connected. And there might be coming more in the future. We will see.
Yeah, I heard we're releasing another DLC, like DLC 12 still.
That might be also something then that can be consumed again.
Wow.
Right.
What a
so there's a lot of interconnectivity here, as you see, and a lot more things to play around with, and then greatly increase the amount of residents in your houses here.
Yes.
Then we have the local mail. I still want to talk about the post boxes simply because they're quite cute.
Right.
So they're basically working similar to the post office, right? Yeah. They're just like smaller versions of it. So as you can see, the reach is much lower.
Yeah, and you cannot overlap them. So they work more like guild halls, for example, because we don't want to have the same people generating mail twice. So they cannot be overlapping. Yeah. And for the smaller areas, you then have the mailbox. The mailbox is slightly more efficient, but you need to puzzle a bit more. So that's the payoff. And hopefully you get, with both combinations, the maximum coverage. So you can produce enough local mail to both satisfy the local need and then also the other two things, which we're probably going to talk later about. Yeah. So they work exactly the same, just in a smaller scale.
I can't build them yet, actually, because I still need aluminium. So we'll get to that in just a moment. But yeah, so this is obviously, it helps a lot because, as you can see, like building this one, I would have to build it somewhere here, and it's easy to squeeze in a mailbox somewhere. Yeah. But like I could still zoom in, so you see the ghost mailbox and me time. So this is like the alternative for you to.
I love it that this is like an option because, like for me, my cities are already like fully expanded and cluttered, so I just have to delete a small space.
And especially if you have anyway ornament areas in your city, it's much easier to delete, I don't know, a tile on the ground or like a newspaper stand or something. Just place the mailbox there instead, so it fits in easier than if you have to remove much more to build multiple post. You can build obviously multiple post office, so this is definitely a possibility. So this is this thing. This is the mail. There are two more. Wait, no, wrong. Yeah, lifestyle needs. Yeah. There are two more types of mail. and the regional mail and the overseas mail. As you might imagine by the sounds of it, this sounds like it's not tied to the island only.
No.
So, guess this is where the airships come into.
This is where the airships coming to. They are goods, but they are not traditionally produced like bananas or plantains.
Yeah. So I guess you'll first need some airships, and then we go back to that whole mail topic.
Yep.
Obviously, you can build as many post offices as you want in your cities, and the more you have, obviously, the more you produce, which means the more you can then later also export the mail to other islands, right? So.
It also increases storage, so the storage of the mail is not the same as for normal goods. So each post office increases the mail capacity your island has. So that's also just good to know when you start planning a whole thing.
So then, we would love to build airships. The thing is, where's our hangar? Did I miss it?
There it is. Next to the... Yeah. There.
Right. We can build a foundation already. There's a super convenient spot marked by these weird fences here. Very convenient indeed.
There it is.
Looks like somebody has done some
Almost as
preparation.
if we're prepared for this, right? So this is basically a monument type building, so it comes in multiple phases.
Yep.
And while at the moment we can still start it and build, I think, the first 2 stages, but for the next level on, we also need aluminium. So sooner or later we'll start with that production chain.
Yep.
Why not start right away? Can we build a landing platform? Or do we need? No, we also need. So okay, then let's
so the first thing is
aluminium.
produce.
Okay.
This is a new mine
New
slot.
deposit, yeah. So we added more to all islands, and everybody who has an old save game gets those new slots, basically.
I think this is very important to mention. So you don't have to start a new game.
Yeah.
You can also use all of your old save games.
Yeah.
That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, it's going to
We would just-
update and on locations where there's nothing built. Maybe something in front, but that's then
Yeah.
problem to solve for each person
It's not
individually.
overwriting existing mine
No,
slots,
no.
basically.
Yeah.
So we built the mine.
Yeah.
Here we go. Maybe here.
Bauxite mine, producing our red dirt to then make aluminium out of it.
We're missing some because we are also building the
The airship
The
hangar.
airship hangar at the same time. Yeah, but we should get. No, we didn't get. I hope we would get enough workers through to the mail, but it's not quite enough.
Yeah, it's not the most powerful of the 3, obviously, because it's the comparatively easiest.
I can just. There we go, solved.
Mm.
Right, then we need some coal. I don't think we have any on this island. No.
Yep.
So let's build. I don't know.
We have no access to the coal miner here. It's obviously not as efficient as a coal mine in Europe, but it's definitely an alternative if you want to produce it local. Otherwise, of course, importing it from somewhere else or even from Docklands might be a valid solution.
Since I know people will anyway look at the production timers, so this is, if you want to take notes, production times.
Okay.
So we built the aluminium, 2 of them I think. We probably would need more because they have a relatively high production time. And then they start producing aluminium. We need more workers again. Okay, well, there's a shortcut of solving it. Oh, Paloma is so happy that we're producing aluminium. Thank you. You're welcome. Yes, okay.
Oh,
We get to drop goods in just a moment.
oh yeah, the drop goods.
So we have aluminium, which means we can finally build our post box. Wait, first things first. Post
There's
box.
the post box. Brilliant. Perfect.
Here we go. Beautiful yellow post box. All right.
Yeah. Once it starts producing, it also sends around
Mailman?
mailmen, yeah,
Ooh.
and they go from house to house. But they are a bit have dark uniforms, so it's sometimes hard to see them. But they walk around and they're gonna go to the doors of the residences, also in Europe.
There is a request to show the bauxite mine again. If you
The
just
bauxite
want
mine.
to- Yep.
Yep.
Bauxite mine, yes.
Here you go.
There you go. Bright red bauxite coming down. Unique
For the
cards
visuals.
I had to assign.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I even think the next mine we're going to build is even prettier.
I first want to build a landing platform.
That airship.
Then we get to the next mine, which you probably already have spotted anyway. Yeah, landing platform, because obviously your airships need to land somewhere, and we need to add the mail system. We need to tie to a feature. So obviously this is going to be the landing platform. Or is it still called landing platform? No, it's called airship platform. My bad. I think it was called landing platform once.
Yeah.
So you see lots of bustle. There are people waiting, goods prepared. As you can see, this little tower here where people could step on the airships when it's landed.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you've seen it, there are also like some ornaments here which you can use to make it fit. Like there's some seats and these kind of things.
Waiting areas.
Far more interesting is the gameplay.
Yeah.
There is a mail module, airmail sorting office, as it's called. No, this is the wrong side. My bad.
There's the ornament in the way. Okay, now we've built the.
Okay.
This also provides a bit more storage, but what it also does is giving access to all the different mail types. So we already have those in the.
Because I just cheated, but like generally you wouldn't have those yet.
Yeah. So what's basically happening? The moment you build this, now you can connect these islands with another island that also has a platform and a module, and then you can transport the local mail to the other island, and when it gets unloaded, it automatically gets turned into regional mail. And if you would send it to an island in moderate that also has a platform, then it would be turned into overseas mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we are calling route alchemy, because it's basically a production chain that requires transport.
Yeah. So you need at least like on all islands that you want to include in that thing, you will need that landing platform.
Yeah.
So in this super convenient spot here, we don't have resources yet. Here we go.
Magic.
Magic indeed, yes. So you need to connect them, similar like to the commuter piers. And it's actually a good...
commuter piers, yeah.
Because look at this, it's a commuter station. Because people love traveling with airships, surely, now that they have this new technology, which we don't have yet because we didn't build any airships. But imagine we had.
So this is now linked to the South America workforce pool. And if you build the second one, it should.
Then we don't have any workforce issues anymore on this island. Amazing.
Yeah. With the second one, then it spawns the feedback unit at some point, and then it's also traveling around.
Oh yeah, solved our workforce issues. Huh. So we know that's something that you've been asking for a while. We know there are mods there to address that issue. Because the islands are a bit like trickier to build and everything. But now with the big expansion of of the new world this year with more content, you can now also let your workforce commute and connect all your islands in a new world and make use of the whole workforce pool in the new world.
Adding more efficiency, so all the aluminum production can work smoothly to then get more new features. Yeah.
Let's quickly dive into the old world, simply because to show you that, yes, thank you, Anne. Quite a few of the things that you can do in the new world is also possible in the old world.
Yep.
I think it's an artisans, yes.
We unlock it there. So the post office gets unlocked as... This is the first unlock ever in the whole DLC. So you get the post office relatively early here, and then you go to South America, and then you get all the fancier things. Because the story is that they invented it in South America because they found a new type of mine that we're going to show later in South America. So it's more linked to South America. But the technology is then available in both vanilla regions, basically.
Very convenient that there are these empty spots.
These empty spots in the city, right? This is so convenient. Yeah, it's like, this spot here, where it's almost perfect to build a landing platform here. It's
crazy how things work out.
Yeah, love it. So similar here. Obviously, you don't have the commuter,
stuff,
module here because you already have the commuter piers, right? So you don't need that, but you have the mail module and could now, in theory, connect them if you had an airship.
Yep.
You could now connect them and send and get overseas mail if you connect them. The old world city here, our Bright Stamps Island, and the what we can also do is build the airship hangar. The thing is, as you already noticed, we need for the foundation already aluminium, so it's more expensive than the New World version. I'm not quite sure by how much, but it's definitely something you first want to start doing that in the New World. Then if you set up your production chains and that kind of thing, then you can start and build the whole chain and everything in the old world.
Exactly. So this is basically a bit balanced in the way that normally the moderate sessions are a bit more powerful overall, so it's a bit more expensive to do it there. And then also the incentive of using space for heavy industry in South America is always, at least until other things come, still a bit a problem. That's why I made it more expensive here, but might be still subject to change. This is still.
And the thing is just obviously the airships will also need aluminium to build. So even if you have your hangar in the old world, you will still need to import goods, as well as the helium that we'll, I guess, talk about now. You'll also need to import that. So you can build them, but it's a bit more logistical effort if you want to also build them.
There is a way to do it in moderate to a certain degree, but it's definitely not efficient and more like an emergency thing if you, for some reason, have no access to South America. But overall, you require South America to get this content, but then because the mail system works best with all combinations of sessions, you then transport it back and forth.
I guess this is where the topic of items come into play. I'm not sure if we want to talk about those now, because as usual, they're asking questions. I'm not sure, did they ask any item question yet?
I haven't seen item-related questions.
That's surprising.
Maybe I just didn't see the exact question. But sure, I mean, we can just have a look at some of the new items.
Yeah. But while we're on the topic, then we can look for the emergency.
Oh yeah,
item.
there are the questions now popping up.
Okay.
Well, then, yeah, this time we're prepared actually, because we know that sometimes you ask and we're like, yeah, there are new items.
Yes.
Sure. So yeah, this time we can show you. Dominic, what am I searching for?
Emergency for once. Back. Did it show up? Did they call it differently? Then try. That's a problem if you know the dev terms and not the final looker terms.
What's with that? Wait, maybe it's because of unknown.
Oh yeah, try again.
Oops. There we go. This one?
No. Let's try for the weapons factory. All items for weapons factory. Yeah, weapons factory.
What are we looking for?
Or heavy weapons factory. So now look how prepared we are. So where is he? Go back. There should be a guy. He's not showing up. Oh, all this renaming of things. There's also test items in on the first.
Otherwise,
all right. I mean, we can also come back to the items later on. That's not a problem.
We could look for something else. Like, what about our mad dynamite person?
And then look for the mad dynamite person. There she is. At least her name we know.
Yes.
It's not longer dynamite expert. Yeah, one thing as the free update, what we're adding is some more changes to inputs. So we are now able to change the input of production chains that formerly didn't have anything to input. So basically the coal miles or mines in this case. So what we can now do is we get the productivity and extra goods if you add as an input good dynamite into the mines. And this works for all old world mines.
What could go wrong, right?
What could possibly go wrong? I mean, there is what could go wrong to 50%. It could explode. But yeah, so this is one of the new things we can do. Overall, what else do we have? Could you look into gas well, maybe? There he is. There's also something for the other one, not
this one?
gray. Yeah,
Arctic
this
gas.
one, the Arctic gas expert. So what we also can do is now with more demand for potential airships, and if you have already DLC 3, you get this guy. You can research it or buy him from the local trader in Passage. It allows you to get one of the new input goods we have for the mine we're going to show later to also put into the gas wells in the passage, and then it produces more gas overall. But you of course need to transport this. It's produced in South America, the good, and then if you get the industrial lubricant into your gas wells in the passage, then you get more gas out of them. So overall, the production of gas can be increased with this guy. We have something similar for the new mine and the helium gas.
Also, like, a shout out to Ben for helping us. The emergency aluminium man is the military logisticon.
What, the military logisticon?
There he is with the mustache.
Right.
Oh, no, that was the loading guy. Yeah, the military logisticon. So basically, if you don't have access to aluminum production in South America, you can buy bauxite from Blake and then turn it via the weapons factory with an emergency plan into aluminum. It's not efficient at all, but it can be done. So this is the thing we were talking about.
Yeah, I guess for the people who do these kind of no new world challenge or something like this, this could be something.
Would be interesting, or if something happened to your South America islands.
Yeah, if you don't like Lady Hunt, or she doesn't like you.
Or she doesn't like you,
Right, so there are a few more. I'm not sure, do you know by heart how many items you added this time? There are a few.
It's going to be in the blog, the exact amount.
Right.
Exact amount.
So
and then also more details on them. But we have them. Also, all the new buildings are added to all the item effects. So they
Fine.
stuff we already have will affect them from the start.
That's gonna make some people happy, yeah.
That's
And again, like some of them, they're not all of them are DLC 11 tied, but several are, like Dominic said, like the passage guy, like they're coming for you for free if you own the respective DLC, basically.
You can also go into the mail again, because there was one mail type we haven't explained. You cheated.
Wait, no.
No, in the platform.
Yeah.
Around the platform, exactly. So there's also something interesting. If you have DLC 6, so Africa, then you can, in the science center, you can research one specific item or one specific specialist that then will, if it's put into the town hall in South America and in the radius of the post office, they're going to produce this new type. This is research documents you can then give to the scholars, and the scholars are going to produce more science. And if on top you have both DLC 6 and 3, so Passage and Land of Lions, you can also do this in the Passage and have another special type of research you can also then send with airships back to Europe. Then the scholars eat it and produce more science. So those are all the interconnections we have done for this time. It's basically free update for those.
Just listening throughout the last weeks and months to Dominic explaining me all the different. Oh yeah, if you have this, then you can do that, and then we have this. There's so much things, and we try to put most of that in the blogs, so you have an overview of like what the cross interactions are, these kind of things. But yeah, there's a lot, and I think especially the ones of you who like to tweak things and just play around with things, you're gonna be very happy with the things. How's the chat after we showed the items? How they are?
They are quite happy about that.
That's good. It was good to have chat.
But they're asking for airships more and more.
More and more airships.
Well, okay, let's go ahead. Let's produce some helium, right?
Yeah.
So, a new mine slot again. We need to go to another island to have this helium pocket. We can build a mine here. For anyone who loves looking at mines, this is how the mine looks. But as you can already see, there's a production chain tied to the mine. Dominic just mentioned the dynamite thing, which is gone through an item, but we're going one step further, basically with the mine, with the helium mine, because it actually needs more input goods.
Exactly, it needs input good to actually function. So not just to get boosted, but to actually function. So yeah, as you can see, we have now, so we need to pump something in to get the gas out. What we've done is the lubricant factory, and then also some more sturdier material on top. Yeah. So both of the mixture gets pumped down and then gas comes out. The first new input good is a lubricant, and that's combined of fish oil and what we call a salpeter. From moderate, so you need to import that from moderate and then produce more fish oil than usual. This then gets combined here. This also plants oil palms.
It does that very slowly at the moment and might be broken. This version right now.
But you can build it with the placing trees.
Right, I could place the trees down, but yeah.
Exactly. So this requires both trees in its vicinity to get palm oil. Then it adds it with the fish oil, and then it adds salpeter on top, and then we have the industrial
the
lubricant.
right tree?
The palm trees. Yeah. This one.
Okay.
Palm oil,
Fits.
palm trees. Makes sense.
But I mean, it's a bit, the radius is a bit blocked.
Yeah, I enjoy. It's usually like that. Yeah. So it needs the trees. It's planting, and on top of that, you also need the input goods that we
And
showed
the
you.
space, and then you get the new stuff.
Yeah, and then it all goes to the helium mine, as you can see here, and then it's producing helium. I'm not even sure what was the 15 seconds.
Yeah,
There you go.
we don't have many of these new slots, so they are valuable and they are relatively fast. And so you can also look at the nodding donkey up on the platform.
Nodding donkey?
Yeah, go up the train. So also we have little gas bottles in the carts, and we have him. So there it's pumping down the lubricant and getting out the gas, which is then filled into containers, sent down, and hopefully filled into airships.
Yeah.
Airships in
Yeah.
the new world.
Right. I think that building the platform takes a while. So I would
it's
say
the same stages as the one in Passage.
Yeah. So I think
same
we switched to a
size.
different set game where we already have some airships.
Yeah.
Let me quickly do that. So, Lisa.
Any questions?
Yeah. Now we are waiting a bit. So, any questions that are not related immediately to airships?
Immediately to airships. Okay, guys. So if you have something that is not related to airships, then just pop it in the chat and we will answer it.
Are they nice? Do they behave today, or
Oh, they're very nice
is Banan
today.
spamming, or Marcel or someone?
Marcel, who's that? No, just kidding. Okay, let's see. Where do we get the laptop cover? This is basically just the key art printed out and put on a laptop.
You shouldn't have told them. You should have we all get individually produced laptop covers. They would have been so impressed.
Yeah, that would be great. All right. Okay, so the date of release. This is something that we wanted to talk to you guys about.
Yeah, we expected the release date question, so yeah, that's obviously understandable. So today we don't have the release date for you yet, but we'll have that in the next soon, I guess, in the next week. So as usual, we will have the release date, and yeah, we'll communicate that soon.
Just keep our social channels in mind, and also keep an eye on the Anno Union, and we will definitely communicate the release date in the upcoming weeks. Don't worry about that.
We'll definitely make sure you won't miss the release, yes. And I think we've been successful so far, so don't worry. Okay.
Okay.
Any more questions? Or, I mean, we're not in a rush, so, well, maybe in a bit, but...
I still have a lot of content.
So there are lots of questions about the island size in the new world. So I would say for now they are not getting bigger. But if you've closely watched our Season 4 Pass trailer, then you should know that with DLC 12 we will tackle that problem. So no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that the islands exactly get bigger, but we've heard some rumors about new islands.
I heard those rumors too, yeah.
So yeah, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, so that's the DLC 12 topic. So for a time being, this will still be on your usual islands, and yeah, DLC 12 will then expand.
Yeah, but with you're getting more population from the mail if you're using them, so more workforce.
And as you said, they're not using more goods, so you get more population, but don't have to produce more coffee.
And can interconnect them, so hopefully that's a buffer until things to come.
Yes.
But overall, it should be relatively efficient to give them bonus needs and then have more space for production.
You know what we haven't talked about yet? As the third module.
Ooh.
The third module.
Because I'm pretty sure
What
people...
does it do?
Now I need to guess which one it is. This? No, it's probably not this one.
Yes.
It's an item transfer depot. That sounds interesting. What do you do with that?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, you transfer items.
Whoa, okay, let's move on.
Yeah. So now what you can do is now you see a lot of slots, and what you can do if you click on them and have an item on this island, if you have a lot, you can actually load it up. Then it gets transported.
Yeah, as you can see, it's in transit at the moment.
And when it's done in transit, you
can go to, I don't know, let's go back here and no, where's the module? No.
to build it.
No, it's
No,
here.
there it is. And now you can get it down.
Right click. Yeah,
There
okay.
it is. Yeah, you can unsocket it. And now it's on this island.
But they could move it back or add some. So basically, all islands that you tie with these Airship platforms and that have those modules, you can transfer items much more quickly between your islands instead of having to send them via ship. If
Very
you want
convenient.
to. It's obviously a bit tied to wrong module to the size of the amount of slots that you have.
Yep.
I believe every module you build is unlocking 2 more slots up to 24. 24, yes.
Yep.
So there's a limit, but in general, this should make it also a lot easier to. I need this island on that this item on this island. You can just move it
You
over.
have to load them into ships and move them around manually. You can now do it with the help of the airships.
Yeah.
Uploading it into the airship cloud and loading that.
I hope this should make people happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like something that's super convenient that I'd personally love to have in my safe games.
Yeah. You haven't showed it in an airship yet.
Yeah, but
Just
they
showed
might have
all the
already
other
seen
features.
it. Airships.
Not even all of them.
Wow.
So we
Okay.
have, I think it's easier if we just go to the hangar.
Well, this is one of the smaller ones.
These are the smaller ones, but we have 5 different classes, basically, which we now, we also renamed the Arctic one, which is now called the Boreas class. I'm not sure if anyone in chat knows what Boreas is referring to, or know all the others, because they all have air-related mythological names.
Yeah.
Basically.
Logical creatures,
Yeah.
that can fly.
So we have Pegasus, Hermes, Manticore, and
Get a harpy.
Harpy. Wait, here's it, Harpy.
Yeah, these are a bit more aggressive because those are the ships. Well, not this one, but the one next to it.
Yes.
You see the double entries. That's basically because we added now the possibility to have armed airships. But you can also build the airships that can be armed, unarmed, to use them as fast transports or fast couriers for your mail.
Yeah, so it's basically separate in two types. So you have these four ones, the Harpy and the Manticore. They're what we call rapid airships. So they are very fast, but as you can see, they don't carry that much. And if you want to use them for bigger trade routes and these kind of things, and the drop actions, which we'll get to in a moment, and then you want to use the cargo ships, which are this one is the smallest variant. No, we just finished one here. And wait, I think we have 2 other ones here. So we have, this is the medium one, the Pegasus. And then we have the behemoth one, this really big dude, the Sophia class. Yeah. For example.
Perfect. Yeah.
So they have 8 slots to carry, so this is your big transport thing.
Yeah, logistic-wise, the platform serves also as a pier. So if you make regular transport routes, the airships either go to contours, piers, or the platform.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make the specific post routes, which we didn't show.
No, not yet. No.
Not yet. They will only go to the ones with the modules built. Yeah. But overall, they serve the same purpose as the passage airships, with the added. And also, the passage airships can also transport mail. That's also possible.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't go to the Arctic in a bit, just to show what the airships are or what the impacts are in this area. Nika asked, is it possible to build these airships in the Arctic with gas?
Yeah.
Well,
Not in the Arctic, but you can build them with Arctic gas.
yeah, as you see, there's a second tab here. So if you would like to, you could can, instead of using helium, you can use the Arctic gas to build those. But what's the difference on them?
They have a bit different stats compared to the normal ones. So overall, because canonically the gas from the passage is flammable, so it's a bit more dangerous to use them, but they are a bit more powerful in other directions. So if you build one, you get a buff on top, which then explains to you why it's better.
Yeah, basically. So here nothing shows, but if you have a Arctic gas airship, then you have the Arctic gas symbol, and it gives you the breakdown of the effect on that airship.
They have like an inbuilt buff because they have a different gas filling. So, but the passage hangar stays the same.
Yeah, but you can build a passage airship in the old world and new world now via this hangar if you want to.
Unlocked it in the passage, you can also build it here. So they have different unlocks. They might overtake each other a bit, but if you want to have the full airship galore, you can still use both DLCs, and they interconnect with each other. So yeah, this is the smallest one for airships.
Sea sponge, wonderful name.
Perfect.
The things you call an airship, right? Sea sponge. Okay. So yeah, this is the different airship types you can build, and the different classes and the renames. Yeah, I think we might just go. Let's talk about these ML routes, or like show you how to do that. So you create a route, and this is a separate entry now on the list of potential routes you could build. First thing, the game always checks if you have a landing platform, an airship platform. So you can see if you don't, then it immediately warns you, hey, you can't set up an airship route. Yeah. But we have one here. So let's add this one, and let's go.
Another island.
Okay, we could also use a different island. I think this one has.
Depends on how you prefer to set them up. Yeah, basically as similar to oil routes, a bit different. They have some special rules because, of course, you shouldn't transport the same mail to the same island again and make like a loop. So they are gonna, in some cases, destroy your mail if you try to fudge with them. But overall, it's the same system.
As you can see, it's already also immediately adding the unload good. So basically, what's important to keep in mind for anyone who's setting those up, you can't like load 50 mail on this island, then unload it on 3 separate islands, but it's always going from one island to another. So you can't unload it in steps. It always unloads the full amount. And similar, like you said, with also when we had talked about route alchemy, you can't, I can't like manually transfer it in any way. It only works via the straight route because it's transformed from local mail to regional mail or to overseas mail. And if I just drop it from the airship, it just gets deleted.
Gets destroyed, yeah. There's no flotsam. Well, other flotsam.
one of our favorites, visually at least.
Which we added, which we didn't add it to the passage, but now we added it now because we had the time. So if you unload it now, there it goes. Flotsam get dropped down, can land on the land basically, and then can be picked up again.
Yeah.
Like regular flotsam.
Is there also like something that you can defend your island if an enemy maybe attacks you with his airships?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, there are the armed airship variants. Like this one is an armed version of the Manticore. So you can see it has a gun here and below. And important to note, I think, is that it only can attack other airships.
Yep.
So it's an air-to-air weapon, no air to ground.
They are not powerful enough to shoot at ships.
Yeah.
And normal ships can also not attack you, but that's a different category. Oh no, it is.
Yeah, I just wanted to show because Lisa said like defense against airships. So either you can use your armed airships, or you can build these flag emplacements in your harbor as usual, and then they will defend you against air attacks.
Yeah. Or you can build a specific ship to also do this.
Yes, do we have a, I don't even know, do we have a...
no, it's in the...
yeah, it's old world, right?
Steamship harbor, yeah, because it's a monitor variant.
Yeah.
Because we also made variants for old ships. I cannot probably also... This is the flagship, you get this with this DLC, and it obviously defends your ships against potential attacks from airships. We're going to later show how that works. And what we also get as a free update is the new flamethrower monitor. So it's no longer that only the Pathorians have flamethrowers. Now you can also build them. And if you even have the passage, again, to get a bit more out of the old gas, basically, you can build a gas variation of this, which is also more powerful. You get this if you have the DLC 3.
Yeah.
All right. What did we not? We could show some airship combat maybe, and then,
And then
if there
we
are any
should
open questions, and then we could dive into scenario.
Yeah, because we're a little bit short on time.
Right. We always keep talking too long. There's so much cool stuff to talk about.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the problem,
That's
right?
the thing.
So yeah, while you prepare the attack, so basically airships can now attack, and we also had to teach this to the AI. So the AI is going to be capable of attacking you with airships and defending itself with airships. So they're going to build the new flak towers also. And while we were doing all this, we also improved overall free update-wise the AI in general. So they have now a more sophisticated way of deciding what to attack from you, and should be overall more of a threat than they were before, and behave a bit more consistent overall. So we made a big free update for the AI, and some of them will also use specific abilities of the airships we hopefully show after the normal attacks. Yeah, now they are shooting at each other.
But we didn't talk about yet are the drop actions. We
The
gotta
drop
talk
actions.
about them before the scenario.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, you can again. This is the Manticore class. This is the bigger of the two armed versions. There's still the Harpy class, which is still a bit faster. And
But this has one tower. These
Yeah.
one has two
Yeah,
towers,
this
and the
one
other
is-
one has one. And there we go see that they shoot each other down.
Yes.
I think that there's even like a special animation thing which art is very proud of.
And they
Or-
should be. I mean, it looks amazing.
It looks really
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how the airship combat,
This is
airship against airship works.
cool. Right.
Yeah.
Let's quickly talk about drop actions. Then
Yeah,
I think
let's
we
drop
still have
something.
an airship here. So what are drop actions?
So basically, to have the airships, so as we said, they cannot attack directly, but they can do things indirectly to your friends and foes in the game. But what you need to do is actually load ammunition in, which is produced in this multifactory. So you have 5 options of drops, which we can go through. So one is bombs for damage in harbors. One are sea mines, which you may already know as items. Now we can drop them from the airships and defend yourself with them. Then we have pamphlets, which you can use to on neutral and on your enemies to cause unhappiness on their islands. And next to it are the care packages where you can boost up your productivity of your friends and neutral players to give them a bit of an edge if they are fighting against somebody. And finally, the water drop. If your island is on fire, you can take it out with these water drops, not fire drops.
Okay, quickly, I'm just gonna load up some pamphlets simply because I love the animation for the pamphlet specifically.
Yes.
Obviously, we don't really want to do that on our island.
So yeah, it's do it on Bente.
Bent is good.
Yeah, Bent is good for that.
She allied with you, hopefully.
Well, we can change that. No,
All of them have trade
all
rights.
good.
All of them are neutral if they have trade rights. So yeah, you can actually go into the flow. You can already order them to
Yes.
drop. So you see the little drop icon, exactly this one. And now you're in the special drop preparation screen. So this is overall a bit more of a sophisticated system, but also potentially very powerful if you do it right. So what you can see now is each airship has a different amount of, how do we call them now? Shafts. So basically these are drop shafts. Each of them can be loaded with a specific amount of that specific drop good. So for bombs it's 25, for pamphlets because they're relatively light it's 50 tons. You can put them into those slots, and then, like for example, we have 2 quick options and the rest can be done by hand. This one would be everything in one, and the other one is now in all of those 3.
Yeah.
You could choose only drop it once, but then you see later on what then's going to happen. So if you now set drop target,
So
now you can plan where to bomb it. And because we have 3 loaded shafts, you're going to have 3 areas where it's going to drop.
so I mark basically the areas, and
Yeah.
then I still have one more click to send it away, like where it's supposed to go.
Exactly.
afterwards.
This is like the escape. So if you want to attack something that's basically covered by flag, you can give him an escape radius around those, ideally. Of course, if they send rapid airships after you, that's a more different thing, but you can definitely avoid. And there they go. So there we are throwing pamphlets onto a neutral island.
I love it.
They rain down.
Yeah, and
Ah,
its
show
care
the impact.
package is little.
And there you see where you're hitting it, you get the outrage.
Yeah, turns out they're not so happy. But
Yeah.
yeah.
You can click on one and then we can actually see what's happening. Perfect. Yeah, there we see this is the propaganda outrage debuff. We have, what's also new is the buff chain. So what we have is here for 5 minutes, this is the heaviest impact they have. So happiness in negative 20. Also if this hits production, it should also reduce the production. This one wasn't hit.
Wait.
Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
hit, this is what happened. And this affects stage 1. This is the most, the strongest one, and then later, but also the one that takes the smallest amount of time. And then overall, it takes a certain amount of time, which you can see when you hover over the drop goods. You can actually see how long it overall takes, and it's relatively long. And if it only goes away if you do it again, then it restarts, or if you throw care packages on top. So you can also counter them each other. So those are the negative and the positive ones. Kind of like if you see that your enemy is using propaganda on your friend, you can then throw drop the care packages on them to reset it basically, or to buff them again. Yeah.
Right, so I think we covered all the features again. Like there's obviously far more detail with far the different items and the different drop goods, how you want to use it at which point and these kind of things. But yeah, I think we should use the last minutes to talk about the scenario.
Yeah, definitely. Also, you can like read through all the information that we are sharing today in the upcoming weeks with the dev blogs. So don't worry about that. But yeah, if you have any questions, then just drop it in the chat. Or maybe there is a question that I saw before. Are there new items for the airships, Dominic? For
Yeah.
the new airships?
Yeah, we're gonna have specific pilot items and technician items that buff them in speed, attack speed, reload time, stuff like this. So they're gonna be gunners, pilots, logistic experts. The one I thought was the military one was, for example, oh no, that was an item for the landing platform.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that the landing platform gets a bit more buffed. So yeah, there's also gonna be specific ones for. Yeah, but in one of the blog we're gonna have a more detailed list on which how many, but we're gonna have 3 update items that are connecting all kinds of systems, and then just some that are in addition to the whole old Nate stuff you get from the passage.
Right.
Mostly pilots.
So yeah, let's talk a bit about the scenario. It's as you said, Lisa, it's Clash of Couriers. So as you might imagine, it's about mail. So what's actually happening? Is you're playing as Paloma, which you already seen in the as like a small pop up in before. She's participating in the Grand Postal Derby, as it already says here in the objectives, which is a mail competition. Mm-hmm. You need to collect stamps via mail deliveries,
Yes.
and if you have enough stamps, you win. You need to challenge and get more stamps. So I've already forgot what was the Royal, I forgot the name of the English name for that. I think it's not in that thing. What's the society called?
Oh, yeah.
I'll just skip the intro. The Royal, something with PH.
Yeah.
Ben,
okay.
Ben would know.
Yeah, Ben
Ben
would
will
know.
know, yeah.
Ben is like,
I just know the internal stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Here, philatelic. There you go. Royal Philatelic Society.
we
And that's why it's all about stamps, because they are sponsored by the Royal Philatelic Society. So, and I heard they are pirates, because it would be too easy without, right? So yeah, you actually this time you start with an island already. So you have a small settlements, you have some production chains. You don't start from zero. Sorry. And can basically start with the quests in general.
Yep.
So we just explained the mail system. It's working similar, bit different because there are the stamps involved. But overall, if you know the mail system from the main DLC, you will
Understand how this will work.
understand how it works here.
So basically, each consumed type of mail on the island will generate stamps for you to then later win it.
Yep.
We have overall in this a bit simplified needs for the population. If you click on one, so it's not as complicated as Season of Silver was. It's more focused on the transport and the airship mail.
I think they also only have the two mail types as lifestyle needs, and not like all the needs that you know from the base DLC, basically. So as usual, I think we've done that with all the scenarios so far. It's always a bit changed, always usually a bit simplified to fit the scope of the. Obviously, you're just having a specific target for these. You got your flagship, the Landroval, for Paloma's airship. And aside from these quests, the general objective for you is to win the derby. And how you do that is you will, as soon as we got that first quest here done, you will soon be able to accept challenges from different competitors in that derby. And basically, it works like a football tournament or something, where it's like you have different brackets, and if you win in your bracket, you move to the next one. It works similar here. So you need to win in the first bracket soon against 2 competitors, and if you have 2 wins, basically move on and get the more difficult opponents to compete against. And the quests that you need to fulfill, like these challenges, they are providing different. Like sometimes it's similar to what we have here. Like it says, hey, you need to supply your people. Sometimes usually it involves stamps, so you need to transport stamps somewhere. And others, need to, like, there's where it's need. Sometimes you need to find something, supply people, transport things. And you can already see these other islands. You will need to expand to the other islands and basically build your postal empire by providing these mail to various islands. One thing you will notice as soon as you start to look at some of the islands, it's like, wait, they don't have a coast.
What could that mean, Oliver?
So it turns out you will need to send certain goods to these islands, and you can only use airships for that thing. So you don't even have a ship, you can't build ships. You need to rely on airships to send all the goods between your different basically plateaus here in that scenario. Again, like we usually don't want to spoil it too much from like the specific challenge and the story elements of our scenario, so I don't want to dive too deeply into it. You've seen it as like a bit reduced in scope, what you can build, what the people need. There's some new things in there. I think we've added steel beams in the new world, which wasn't the case before.
Yep.
You need to produce, but there's also the usual helium, slightly reduced because you don't need fish oil for it.
Yep.
And you could produce saltpeter actually in the new world now for this scenario specifically.
Yeah. It's also from Season of Silver we still had it, so carried over. Yeah. And
what I can say, because this is like it's a relatively nice big world, and what I can only recommend is like actually take your time and explore that. The quests, as you can see, the objectives, they are not only the gold thing is timed, so you have a lot more time than you had in the previous scenarios. There's a little bit less stress on you as a player. So you can really take your time, you can build up, you can explore, and exploring is really worth it, because you will find quite a few like nice. We missed. I'm not sure that could be Archie. But there's some NPC settling here. There's also lots of things to be found. So if you want to look for some goods, like there's some lost mail and other items all across the session. So definitely take your time and explore it, because it's actually quite useful to find these things, and some of them you can sell, some of them you might involve like a mini quest chain of like finding, what was it? There's a beard competition, I heard.
Yeah, there's a beard competition. I love that.
Multiple choice.
Yeah, so there, as Ollie said, it's super important that you also try to explore the whole world in the scenario, just to find different goods, or also like some very subtle placed jokes So yeah.
Jokes in our game, though.
No.
Oh.
No, we are super serious. We never joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this again, like I don't want to. On the one hand, it's things you know. So it's gonna be the mail system that you know. It's not gonna be a complete surprise, but it offers you the new challenge with like, hey, there's no harbor space. You need to definitely need to settle to different islands and transport things to space.
Yep.
And then and tackle the different challenges that the game throws at you. It sounds a bit like we're covering only very slowly, but like again, like the main thing of that thing is gonna be the tackle the challenges. And so this is the thing you'll be doing soon.
Yeah, and we don't want to spoil too much of what is going to happen in the scenario because you guys need to play it yourselves, obviously. But yeah, so this is the small glimpse that we want to give you about the scenario.
Yeah.
we
See,
found
there's
out
Nate. And I know that. Oh wait, one thing I wanted to because wait, where is it? Where is the mail? The post office guy.
Main tower. Yeah.
It's somewhere here. I think the editor.
I think where the star is.
Here we
it is.
go.
That's the editor island.
So because we had that teaser with the dancing airships, and some of you are wondering, wait, what's that island? Is it Nate's? No, it's actually not Nate's. It's the editor. So he's the head of the daily courier, and he has his little island here. Apparently not realizing that there were so many pirates. Happens to the best of us. And he'll be your main quest contact. So he'll tell you about like now he wants the registration form and some stamp from you, and will give you further quests. Be your main contact throughout the scenario.
Yep.
So let's see if there are other questions about anything we've shown so far. Anything we can answer. And I mean, mind you, we still release our devlogs in the coming weeks. So.
More details.
There will be more details in these too.
Of course. Okay. Let me just see. Yeah, there were some questions about the button in the left upper corner with the airship on it.
I'm not even sure what the button does.
Nope.
All right. Let me just find a
Mystery button.
question.
We'll see.
The mystery button.
Yeah. Talk more free updates, but we're in the wrong save game for that.
That is right.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they talk about the lifestyle for the old world? What are the requirements?
That depends on
Could
the
load
goods.
a save game.
So basically, they unlock. So if they have the need for bread, for example, it's gonna unlock with the need's gonna unlock with the normal bread chain. Overall, most of the time we're trying to get a set of one from the local area, one from a different. So mostly in moderate, it's like one from moderate, one from the colonies, and then one from a DLC. So that's the current batch everybody gets, and yeah, and they're also unlocked with whenever it goes on. We can probably show a few of them.
Yeah, it takes a moment to like load back into,
load the other
into the
thing.
big save game, but yeah.
I mean, we can show them later on.
Yeah.
Katja asks, will the mail system have an effect on the tourists?
Maybe we should show some tourists.
I'm not sure. I don't think we have tourists
So
actually.
basically, so the tourists are going to have an effect on the mail because they are counting as population and because they're relatively dense with the 500. They have lifestyle needs.
No, we don't. I don't think we built any tourists in the save game yet. No.
Well, I don't think they consume, if I'm right, but they help you produce the mail. Yeah.
All right. To answer the question of Hapalula, no, the airships won't hop around. That was just for a teaser.
They won't what? Hop around.
Hop around.
No, that's. As we said in the teaser, we decided after thorough investigation, we decided that maybe we'll not include hopping airships now.
They might still do it in the Arctic at the point, but that should also be gone until later on.
So in theory, they should move like this. Yes, yeah.
They also get higher when you get on higher elevations, so basically the same way as the passage airships went.
There's another question that pops up quite a lot in the chat is, will there be new achievements and challenges?
Oof, I think we always added a few achievements with each DLC, so I don't have them. Don't know any by heart, I gotta say, but we've always added a few achievements, so there should be, as usual, some
Right.
in Ubisoft Connect. Yeah.
Yeah. And another question: can the airships shoot at naval ships?
Not directly, as we said, but when you load in the bombs
Or the
basic-
mines, right? You could
Or the
also
mines.
damage with mines.
You can cause them, because mine them, and of course, if you drop them directly on an enemy, it will trigger. But overall, it basically works like a hybrid of a mortar item and a production good. So you load in the aggressive drop goods, and then you can drop them on the ships, and then the ships get damage relatively high. Yeah, there you see it.
So I could
Those you can
load those and drop them over ships.
And
Either
harbor
the harbor,
areas.
obviously, as you know from the island sieges, the harbor area, or you can attack the ships with that. But like, there's no dedicated anti-ship gun basically from the airship.
The layers are separated, so what you should do is have combined fleets of loading airships, having the airships defended, having your ship fleets defended. So it's less about one ship against an airship, or it's more about the combined fleet in operation. So having these cover your airships while they deliver the bombing runs, basically. And then in that way, I could make the bombing runs a bit more, because they require more work, so we can make them more powerful overall than compared to. So if this one hits your harbor, you're going to make damage when it's fully loaded. Yeah.
On the other hand, it's also a lot slower, so you will probably need to protect your big airship, because otherwise there's a risk of it getting shot down before it can drop anything.
So ideally, you send in ships to destroy the flag, then move away your ships, drop bombs on it, and then maybe send the ships in if it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And that's hopefully the new meta. If we can also show free updates to military part, because we also have another tower, two new towers.
Is it here? No.
It should be. There they are, both of them. So in all regions that have defenses, which I think are all of them, we now have a flame tower and armor-piercing tower, anti-armor gun. So yeah, both of these are now new and free updates. And they should help a bit with the current meta, which is build a lot of liners and throw them at the enemy. Because if you can click on the airship, okay, you can, hover it. As you can see, what we always had a system in for a few of the anarchist items that you have specific more damage bonus against certain types of targets. And in this case, the flamethrower is really, really effective against wooden ships. So in order to send in your big liner rush, you first need to either destroy the flamethrowers of the defender, or maybe even with airships, or take the risk of losing all of them. That's now the new, and hopefully all will lead to a more diverse fleet combination to counter each other out. And of course, to counter all the flamer units, we now have the armor-piercing one that is specifically against metal ships.
Yeah. So
plus the flag.
Something for everything, and then obviously there's still the flag against airships. So ideally, you look for a combined arms approach of like different things if you want to tackle someone's harbor.
Yeah. Don't compare ships, compare fleets, basically, at this point. Because the scale is now bigger. Ideally, this is what we are trying to do. And all regions, free for everybody, flamer towers.
Yeah, same like the flamer ships.
Yeah.
Like the airship. No, one is tied to
One
DLC
is
11
free.
for the helium. The other one is tied to DLC 3. There's passage.
Yeah, the one is tied to the passage, the other one is free. So the normal flamer monitor you get for free.
Oh, this way. Okay, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
That also doesn't require gas. It's just a
Okay.
special monitor class. And then on top of basically as a Easter egg you get if you have DLC 3, you can build the blue version, which is firing gas-based fire.
Yeah. I mean, there are also some other new or free game updates that everybody gets with game update 15. One of them being if you might change the view to a trader,
Yeah.
that they should give you now a friendly reminder if you already own an item that they offer.
Yeah. Here, that's what we have.
This will help me so much, Ollie.
Except if you want to, yeah. Well, I mean, in both ways, either because you don't want to have it again, or because you want to have it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little icon now in the
Yeah.
Indicator, yeah.
All right.
so you can see. Yeah, it always also says that in the tooltip. Yeah, basically
Yeah.
item already owned.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is also one of the things coming with the free game update.
Yeah. So yeah, we've covered a lot today of DLC 11 as well as the scenario, and we've also talked about the game update. But there are also some other topics that we might want to tell you about. I don't know, Ollie, you want to start with that?
Well, on the one hand, obviously the dev blogs are still coming over the next week, so obviously not all your questions might be answered now. And we have some cool dev blogs which are going to detail on the airship specifically, on the overall content of the DLC, as well as of the scenario, of course, like giving you more background, what you're doing, why you're doing it. Yeah, so this is as usual coming in the next weeks. And the release notes, of course, about the things that Lisa just talked about with the free game update. As usual, we have the release notes closer to release. As we've done with DLC 10, we'll have a community challenge where you can, this time you get a really cool additional artwork if you come together and fulfill this community challenge. More on that also closer to release. And
Yeah. Maybe there is this other big event that is coming up at the end of August.
Christmas?
Christmas. No, but we, meaning Ollie and me, will be at Gamescom. So if you wanna, see some more stuff about DLC 11, or just wanna, hang out and talk a bit, then you're, very welcome to visit us there. There will soon be a kind of social post or something like that to register. So keep our socials, keep an eye on our socials as well as the union to make sure you won't miss anything. All right.
Yeah, that's definitely. Also, obviously, if you come up with more questions and we haven't answered them yet, Gamescom is also a good opportunity, I think, to ask us any more questions. Yeah, like I said, there will be a dev blog because I think this year you will need to register for some of that stuff in advance because of like general Corona-related rules and restrictions. So more info on that, but you won't miss it.
Keep you updated on that. Don't worry about it.
Right. No, I just wanted to show the care packages. So they're
the care packages, of course.
Little umbrella here, parachute, I think.
Little parachutes, yeah.
What a nice finale for the stream.
All right.
And package received. Woo!
Wonderful.
Yeah, I think there are no houses here, so who cares?
It also works on production.
Also works on production, okay.
Yeah.
So here you go. Care package received. Productivity increase. And rides reduced.
And I need to change that icon.
All right.
Cool. Then if there are no super pressing questions anymore, we need to answer this now before they're going insane, then
I think we're good to go. Yes.
Cool.
We didn't even show the moderate bonus needs.
Oh yeah, this is maybe something that we promised.
The lifestyle needs?
Lifestyle needs.
The lifestyle
needs.
No,
I showed some where you were talking about like the lifestyle needs in general. I think I opened the investors and the
we did? Okay, cool.
and the engineers. So
we have a few categories. If you would also have the tourists, then in the health category, for example, shampoo would also show up. And that is then unlocked with the appropriate tourist unlock.
So they're also getting that. And as you said, like some of them are DLC related, others are just like different sessions, some are the same session, these kind of things.
Yeah, and they're a bit themed who's living there, so the artisans get craft material, for example.
Yeah,
and
while our investors want like only the best like furs and bear furs from the Arctic and tapestries from Besa, so it's really like something for the floors and the walls, I guess,
Mostly floor-related things.
Yeah.
But we have categories like wealth and health and communication, of course, for everybody. Do we have scholars on this island?
No. I think I still have the Land of Lions expedition here.
Okay. Yeah.
There is also one last question that I want to ask you, Dominic. Are there any changes made to the dock lens?
The dock lens. So the new goods are not added to the traders, but you can sell all the new goods to them, and they have appropriate prices this time.
All right. Okay. Then thanks a lot for tuning in and joining us on the live stream. It was a lot of fun, and we hope you enjoyed it as well. And we hope you're hyped for the new DLC. And as we said, we will keep you updated on our socials, on the Anno Union website. Just keep an eye on it. And yeah, maybe we will see each other soon at Gamescom.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.